Alright, welcome to what is my very first YouTube review of the Hot Toys Tony Stark Mech Test Suit figure that I literally just got into the house just a few minutes ago. You'll have to bear with me that this is the first time I've done this, and I'm also using the new iPhone 4 instead of a digital camera, so bits and pieces of this may or may not be of the best quality as I flip back and forth between myself and the actual figure. Off with just an outer view of the figure from a distance here. You've got the figure he's supposed to be floating with using the repulsors. You've got the clear rod that they use in the back. It actually has a clip that you slide down on the pole there and fasten around his waist to make him look like he's powering, he's flying using the repulsors. The base is of his work area from the first movie with numbers from where he hit the work area. Of course, it has a nameplate on it that says Tony Stark Mech Test Version. You also have Robbie the robot that you can connect to him using some wires. I don't have him connected right now for the purpose of display space. Also, in the corner, if you notice, and I'll focus in on it here just a little bit, the doily that I guess I've now become somewhat famous for on the Freaks board. As we zoom in, we'll start here with the feet. You can see, hopefully, from this camera, that the detail that was put into what would be the Mark II feet, the wires, and the circuitry that is supposed to be in the feet. The toes actually have pretty decent articulation, pretty similar to what you get with the armored figures already out of Tony in his suit. You can also remove the feet and the mechanical stuff around his shins and put actual regular dress shoes on the figure if you so choose to not display him floating around. Though, for purposes of my personal display, I will be keeping him with his armor and on both his arms and his legs there. Then you've got, of course, the knee braces, which is obviously similar to what he wore in the movie. Pants. You've got the chest plate that that he wears at this point in the movie. With the strap around it, we're taking power to power up, the repulsor rays, and as he tests this out, you've got the wires coming from it going into his arms. I don't know how well clearly this is going to come out, but hopefully you can see some of the wire and the circuitry in the arms going down into his hands. You've got different types of hands that he comes with, 2 different sets. I chose to go with the open hand for the purposes of this particular pose, make him look like he's floating. The repulsor rays that are underneath his hands, you can actually turn on with a light switch in the back. The wires coming off his chest and everything coming down to his back, which I'll show you here in a few minutes, go into a battery pack with a switch on it and actually light up the hands. It was a bit tricky actually trying to get that to stay on and work, which is why I have them off. Seems to be a little bit argumentative with the pose that I have, I think. So I chose to go ahead and turn them off. The chest plate in the center has a switch. It's actually on the base of his neck, underneath of his shirt. I'll try to turn that on here in just a few minutes for you guys so you can see what that looks like at the very least. The sculpt, again, I don't know how well it's going to come out in the video. Looks, I mean, it's amazing. Hot Toys, has shown that they're, obviously one of the best in the market at nailing, sculpts at this point. It's very, very much Robert Downey Jr. with just like I said, an amazing sculpt. Hopefully, we'll continue to see great work from Hot Toys with Tony Stark sculpts. I know it's been a little quiet on the Mark IV front, but hopefully that's nothing to be too worried about. Going to go ahead and flip him around here a little bit. He does rotate a little bit easy on this bar, so he may rotate a bit more than what I care to have him. Kind of back off so you can see what the figure looks like from a distance in the back. As you can see, you've got all these wires going around. You can see the clip that holds him up. The battery pack is right there. Try to kind of get above it, so apologize for the shakiness. You can see that there's, looks like what's some power switches. The white area is where it actually plugs into the figure itself, the box, and there's a switch on there that when you flip it will light up as long as it's not being too terribly argumentative. Let's see, we'll go ahead and see if I can't get him to light up on the chest. There we go, turned it on. We'll go ahead and come back around here, and you can hopefully see, there you go, that his chest is now lit up. And like I said, his hands do the same. There's a bit of flickering, it seems like, but nothing too terribly serious. I mean, it's a pretty great figure, really. I mean, I'm quite pleased with it. The robot, Robbie the Robot arm, is pretty sweet. I won't add it to this review, but I will be adding it to my pictures and review that I place on my blog. Yes, I know my buddies Karma and Bagels will laugh, but the name of the blog is crazycollectingwithjosh.wordpress.com. You can check out the pictures there, and you'll see even more, hopefully, high-detailed pictures that I can take with my camera. For this particular review, it's kind of short and sweet. You know, obviously got some things to work on as far as getting better with the review, but thanks for checking it out, guys. Hopefully you like it. Any tips, hints, anything you got for me would be fantastic.